This is TWiT.
Actually, I've been talking about this. Yes. I've been pumping this up for a while. Let me show you some of the images that came out of this. This is, I can't give you a full review because I just got it. But I will say initial impressions, a couple of initial impressions. One, this is the Galaxy S23 Ultra. I was able to get it through Google Fi for $600, which is about half the list price. You have to activate it through Fi. But if you're a Fi customer, that's actually a pretty good deal
that's a
for
really
a top-of-the-line flagship phone. The screen is, and I think everybody would agree, that Samsungs they have the best screens on the market. They make them. And this is an incredible OLED screen with 120 hertz refresh. You could turn that off for better battery life, but I don't think you're going to need to because the battery life on this has been astounding. Really fantastic. But the biggest thing everybody these days talks about when you're buying a smartphone is the camera, right? This is Samsung's only slight upgrade from their S22 Ultra, which I also had. But the one big change is they now have a 200x zoom. I've used the 100x zoom on this. It's digital past, I think, 30x. So don't go crazy on it. But you do have, these three lenses that give you, and also the front-facing lens that give you really good shots. Let me show you some of the pictures I took. We went out to the beach yesterday, and I said, Lisa, we got to go to the beach because I got to take some pictures. One of the things Samsungs do.
We were in Bodega Bay yesterday.
Oh, were you? I'm sorry. Yeah, we missed you.
We missed you.
One of the things Sammys do, I've noticed, is pop the colors a little bit. So the blues are a little bluer. There's what I thought was a classic Woody, and in fact is not a classic Woody. He's got a VTEC engine in it. It's a 1930s cowl, but the guy was a woodworker and did his own wood on the side. So that's a kind of handmade Woody. Beautiful, beautiful vehicle. Whales were running. Maybe that's why you were out in Bodega Bay. So the whale watchers were out. These were tough shots because these were backlit with the sun. And so it made it very difficult. Now, some of these are quite zoomed. This is, I think, the 10X
Those look
zoom.
good.
And I have to say,
texture.
The images are quite good with the zoom. You can sneak up on people and get get pictures of them without them even knowing. Same thing with birds. Boy, it doesn't show. I'm looking at the image info. It shows me the f-stops and the shutter speed, but it doesn't show me what lens. So I don't know if I'm pretty sure these are widely zoomed.
Oh, that's
this
cool
is Lisa
photo.
Perching. She does this to me, makes me crazy.
That is a little scary.
She is. I get so scared. She's such a daredevil, but you know what? She loves it, and she does great. This is the portrait mode. And you see it's blurred the background, but it does a nice job, I think, with the portrait.
I was going to say, because I would see a lot of times those smartphones would blur some of those rocks there in the foreground, and the fact that it's not.
No, it's smart enough to know what the focal plane is and get it right. It has a very wide angle, and then it has a telephoto, as I mentioned. I want to show you kind of a trick shot I took. It was a beautiful day, you're right. This, in the distance... You can see some people. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit because I think, it's coming up. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. I keep taking pictures of Lisa. I apologize. I'm a little smitten.
Whoa.
That's an example of a zoom. All right. So this is the boat we're taking a picture of. And this is, I believe, 100x zoom. And you see it's not optical. It's digital zoom. And so it's a little soft. But it's handy if you're trying to, it's like binoculars.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
If you're trying to get a distance shot, it can be very handy. So let me see here if I can. I'm sorry, I didn't edit these, and I should have.
Ooh, that one's cool.
Yeah, it really was a pretty day. So Lisa asked, and you couldn't see this, but out here is that a boat? Is that an island? So I said, let's see, and I think it's an island. That is a 100x zoom. Again, there's times when you want that. I noticed a family, you probably can't see them here, down on the cliff. So I thought, well, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. No, zoom in a little bit more. Let's zoom in just a little bit more. There they are, and they're right there. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Let's zoom in a little. Wait a minute. Let's zoom in a little bit more.
Okay, that's
wait a minute.
Really
wait a minute.
Incredible.
Wait a minute. Is this guy taking my picture? Hey! Knock it off. So it's pretty. Now let me go back and show you because
that's incredible,
that is quite a bit of zoom. We're going. That's them right there. And so I think this might be the wide angle. I wish it had told me. I didn't realize it was going to tell me which lens I was using. But as you zoom in, this is probably the best. That's probably the 30X.
Detail on that one still.
That's probably the 30X, which means we're still optical. You can see when it goes away from optical, it's going to get a little softened. But still, the fact that I could see that
make
guy
out faces,
about 300 yards away. We saw a plane fly by. We didn't know what that was. So one of the features of Android that I like a lot is something called Google Lens. I took that picture and I fed it to Google Lens, and it told me, oh, yeah, that's a military aircraft. That's a Constellation transportation aircraft. It identified that. Wow. That was a plane way up in the sky. This is an example of its low light performance. This was inside these trees, very, very, very dark, sunny day, brightly lit outside. When I go into the trees, you can't even tell that that's going to be dark in there. That is lots of detail coming through on that. So this does very well in low light, as one would expect. Is that a person in the tree? It looks like that might be a
grandmother willow.
Grandmother willow in that tree. So some beautiful shots. Let me see. I have some. Oh, I thought this was cute. A father and daughter holding hands. Again, that's one where I saw it in the distance, about that far away, and I said, let me see if I can get a better shot of them if I zoom in just a little bit. Let me see if I can find some that I took with the iPhone as well. Okay, same shot. That's the iPhone 14 Pro Max, and that's the Samsung. Side by side, I think even side by side, it's hard to tell the difference.
The blues are richer on the Samsung. I often
they
notice
pop the blues,
yes,
and you see that.
Really
I was mentioning that they tend to pop the blues and greens, which may be more satisfying, but as our photographer Aunt Pruitt will tell us, is not natural.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to pop those, both cameras will shoot RAW. So if you wanted to pop that, you could later in post. Samsung has a very nice feature called Best Shot where you could see, I wasn't using this in the iPhone, so the horizon is tilted a little bit. The Samsung Best Shot helps you get a untilted horizon. And, you know, I trust my eye for composition a little bit better than the Samsung, but it is helpful, you know, especially if you're not sure.
Yeah.
Especially when you're taking a quick shot quickly. Here's the Best Shot, and it's an easy thing to do. So that's the iPhone as well. Yeah, the blue. Yeah, that's really where you can see it in the blue of the sea here. It's not quite as blue, but probably more accurate.
More accurate to what you're seeing, yeah.
And I think that's one of the complaints people have about Sammys is that they tend to pop the picture.
I like that one.
I think the sand is quite beautiful there.
It makes it look massive, yeah.
Yeah. That's again. This is the ultra wide that they have, so you're getting a little bit of distortion and curvature on that. And there's also a food filter, which does an interesting thing. It kind of does like a tilt shift.
Shiftish?
Yeah. So with the food filter turned on, you say, what do you want to focus on? And I said, well, I want to focus on that calamari. Actually, this is deep fried cauliflower. I want to focus on that cauliflower wings right there. And so you see, even in the foreground, it's out of focus as in the background. So this is this very tight area of focus, but it also heightens, I think, the colors. I think that's an Instagrammable food shot, thanks to it. So there you have it. A couple of shots using. There's quite a few. If you look at the camera, I'll show you here real quickly. There's quite a few options. Let's see if you can see that. There you go.
Whoa.
So normally you'll be shooting here in photo. It has you slide over for portrait, slide over for video. Of course, it has a variety of settings and so forth. 24 frame, 60 frame. But then it's got expert raw, pro video, night, food, panorama, super slow-mo, hyperlapse, that's time lapse, portrait video, which is kind of a cool idea. Director's view. Director's view sounds great. Let me show you what director's view does. It puts you in the picture.
Oh.
Hi, I'm the director, and this is my shot.
Oh, and you get multiple views of the lenses, too.
Yes.
That's nice.
Yes.
So
actually, that's kind of cool, isn't it? You can see the zoom, the medium, and the wide, and you're going to see yourself in there, and you can move yourself around and so forth. I don't know of any directors that would.
Is it shooting them whenever you start recording? Like which lenses end up getting?
Oh, that's a good question. If I just record now, I guess I'll get all three.
Yeah, is it going to get all three of those files?
I think it's recording all three. I don't know. Let me switch back and forth and see what we got. I think you probably have to. I'm switching within the video. Let's see what we're going to see if I play it back. Yeah, I think probably. I don't know how you would. Maybe if you used a special editing program, it could tell you. I don't know. That's a good question. Like I said, I only got this. Yesterday, so I haven't had a chance to work out with all the stuff. I am very impressed, camera wise. This is enough, and Ant and I have talked about this. How long before you don't have to bring your pro gear out in the world when you go travel and so forth? I think we're pretty darn close now to a pocket device. It's a great phone. Samsung makes great hardware. It's a beautiful screen that can also give you enough camera flexibility, especially with that zoom. That was always the one thing I missed with the camera phone is getting a decent zoom. The optical zoom up to 30 is pretty darn good. So I'll have a more fulsome review after a week or so. I like to give myself some time with this. But I think so far very impressive. And if you can get it at
600, yeah.
600. That's pretty tempting. Pretty tempting. This episode of Tech Break is brought to you by ACI Learning. IT Pro from ACI Learning offers binge-worthy cybersecurity and IT training in everything your team needs to advance your IT learning. Use code TWiT30 at checkout for 30% off a standard or premium IT Pro membership. Visit go.acilearning.com/twit to learn more.